Alright, everybody. This is one of my other favorite races, and they're also one of the cornerstone races of the fiction. This is the Lazax Mindnet. Basically, these are the remnants of the old ruling species, the Lazax. And the eve of the fall of the Empire on Mechatol Rex, one of the core council members left with his entourage, and they were pursued across the galaxy, and they eventually became this technological diaspora as they turned to technology to sustain their way of life, and they ended up merging man with machine in a sense. Because they were on the run, they relied on their fleets quite a bit, and so they're known as the Dreadnought race. Matter of fact, one of their modifiers is the base cost of their Dreadnought starts at 4 instead of 5, so it's a lot easier for them to amass a larger fleet. They are a very aggressive race. They're heavy on the exterminate side of 4X. They start with a significant amount of resources. They start with 1 Dreadnought, 5 ground forces, a PDS, 3 fighters, and a carrier. Their planet is, to show you how technological they are, their planet is null. It's called null, even though it's 0.0.0. No influence, 5 resources. So they kind of remind me of the Quarians from Mass Effect in that, you know, they're very technologically oriented, and they live on their dreadnoughts basically, and there's another race, the Necrovirus, introduced in the second expansion that are this living, intelligent AI that can take multiple robotic forms that the Lazax originated and invented, and then they turned against one another and split off, and so it really kind of similar, and that they're kind of out and outcasts and out from their home and not very influential in the galaxy, kind of off doing their own thing. Many of the races aren't familiar. Their representatives have been sent and even invited and never came back from Null. They also start with 4 technologies. Cybernetics, +1 to starfighters. Stasis capsule, the cruisers and dreadnoughts can carry 1 ground force unit. The Enviro Compensator, which allows you to produce 1 additional unit at your space docks, and then the Hylar 5 laser, which I feel like I've gone over, but basically that gives +1 attack to your cruisers and destroyers. So the racial tech is Dreadnought Invasion Pod, and this costs 2 resources, and your Dreadnought may now carry 1 additional ground force unit, so you can carry up to 2, which nobody else can do that. That's special, along with the cost. So the other 2 modifiers is you start with 1 extra command counter in your strategic allocation box. Your Dreadnought units receive +1 during space battles, and your ground force units receive +1 when attacking during invasion combat. These guys are very brutal to deal with. If you are adjacent to them, you want to watch yourself. You want to watch your back at all times. Whatever they're going to go for, they're going to go for full bore. Anyways, that is the Lazax Mindnet.